Uh, Hello, here in Liepāja. I'm happy to see you here. I was not expecting that this conference, that's the first this type of conference would get so many attendees. I really hope that sports conferences and sport things, like from this educational standpoint of view, would be the first thing brought here to Liepāja, and there will be followers, and that these kind of things take place here in Liepāja and in region, because I can definitely tell there is an interest. The youth and children's work here in Liepāja, I think it's a big challenge. It was a big challenge, especially in 2009, when we had to think thoroughly how to save the whole thing. Because it's very hard to build something, but it's very easy to lose something. And I think that it turned out well in Liepāja. And looking into the future, we have hopeful and positive insight into that. In Liepāja, in various sport types, there's a very clear vision, development vision, how to work for future, how to move on step by step. And in Liepāja we have like two systems. One is so-called the sports school system with a professional direction, where sports schools are working hard, and one of the clubs, which is a private club, they have done everything possible to get authorized their programs and carry them out. And in total, in these programs, we have 2,611 children and youth involved. And they have started their sports career with the purposeful choice of a sport type. Numbers of practices grow, and we have to invest more and more, but it's important for Liepāja, because in all game types we have high-level teams who have mastered their skills. And one number, I'm sure that it sticks out, and that's swimming. In Liepāja, for the fourth year in a row, we have an educational program for swimming, and it's obligatory for all second-grade students in all schools in Liepāja. That's half a year, when all children, twice a week, are taken to the pool for swimming. And it's both here in this building, the pool we have, and also in Ezerkrasts, part of the town. And we make sure that the second graders are not afraid of water. They learn to swim, and these numbers have helped to grow the swimming department twice. And of course it asks for municipality funds again, because the demand is big and the number of groups practicing is big. And by implementing this program, of course, the municipality was counting on the demand, and therefore swimmers are the leaders in terms of number of children involved. And today's subject, so this is the team game types is the subject. And the professional touch is not the only opportunity for children to do sports. And municipality has worked hard so that there are other things that could be offered, because there are sport types that are very hard for sports schools to host by the sports schools, because there are various ages of the kids and the demands are different. And we don't have to have all the children in sports schools. The only place where they can do sports is sports schools, but that's also possible outside of that. And therefore we're just following the coaches, the licenses, the practices, the children, and so we are realizing these. And BMX skateboard and the motocross is like is offered at this children's interest center, and children are enrolled and the program is carried out. And the second way how we realize this is co-funding to the private clubs. Twice a year, the municipality receives documents from the private clubs about the number of students. We check that, we make a committee, and then we decide how many children and for which amount we're going to support the club. And for this moment, as you can see, in Liepāja, we get 536 children involved more on the top of the sports schools. And so in total, sport activities have involved more than 3,000 children. And the percentage of the children involved from other places in Latvia, it's like 10%. So it's approximately 3,000 small Liepāja citizens involved in sports activities, and that's a big joy, because the subject, how to get them involved, the question how to keep them, because in Liepāja there are other things to do. There's music school and art school, and there are other things, interest clubs to get involved with, like choirs and folk dancing and small Liepāja people can choose a lot of things to get involved in. And for them it's hard to understand what's the real thing for them, where they want to develop themselves in future. We pay a lot of attention to the sports schools with a professional touch, and there's a pyramid in sports language speaking, and we just see how of good quality they are, and we pay special attention to those children who have chosen something, where to be involved. These are children. Coaches will understand that these are children who are, so to say, selected, or they have chosen the specific sports type that they want to be their sport type for the future. And so how many of these children are the children? MT4 and above, so it's probably volleyball. Wouldn't be the main indicator for volleyball, because usually children get involved not from the first grade, but in the grade 6 and 7, and that's the age where, according to the requirements of the ministry, they conform to the requirements of MT4 and above. Basketball is like 50% of children involved, especially if we consider that part of these students involved in these sport types, they form the teams of higher leagues. It's both like the men's and women's teams in Liepāja. Also in football the same. There are a number of people who are playing in the higher league of Latvia. And so many students of sports schools, they are members of these higher league teams. And volleyball, it's very big interest in women and girls. This is the third year when Liepāja team, a girls team. In previous years we've been collaborating with the Liepāja University, and we And with this year, a sports schools team will be participating in the higher league, in a championship, and they've showed good results. And so the volleyball segment is also developing rapidly. As I mentioned, private society, floorball club Kurši. This is the third year where they have been working according to the norms required by the ministry. It's been discussed a lot about with the floorball club representatives about the possibility to develop the girls sector, because for girls it's only football and basketball and volleyball. The other opportunities are pretty limited, yet there is an interest. You can also see that because there's a team in the University of Liepāja. And so at this moment, space is the factor that doesn't let us work more actively in this direction. So I can't really say, girls, please get involved, and then we wouldn't be able to find a place for them to practice. So floorball, that's one sport type that is really looking forward to the new building, new track and field for the new sports building that's planned in Liepāja to develop this sector more. Liepāja municipality thinks a lot about the system, so the system will work. And so it would be the type of system that would promote the youth involvement. And it can be without goals and without reachable goals, and therefore about parent co-funding, that those children who are, it's U12 group, then the municipality has agreed that this age group is the parents are freed from the co-funding, and the municipality is paying for these sport types. And so parents' wallets are free from paying this money. Municipality, during the last years, especially when we were taking over basketball and football, we've been thinking about hotels for talented students, players, and we've had like good players from the Kurzeme region and from all of Latvia. And during the recent years, there has been interest also among sports school students from Lithuania. And when they come here, and when they see the conditions here in Liepāja, and when they speak to coaches in Liepāja, the interest has grown, and Liepāja conditions seem to them very attractive, and for them to want to develop their sports skills here in Liepāja. We have understood that in order to go further, we also need our sports doctor. And last year, the municipality announced a contest where we are looking forward to, where we have actually made a contract with a student from Latvia University who is getting that education. And many coaches need help with understanding how to improve the mastership of the new athletes, of the young athletes, and so that they would not waste the investment and time, but so that we can prepare these athletes to the best of our ability. A lot of time and investment is used in order to train on a high level, then the infrastructure is very important. And we also think about athletes and teams' opportunities to go abroad, and we get involved in many various projects, which direction of which is to see how to develop different sport types, and the young Liepāja citizens participate in various sports with many more than just one team. And we have also been able to host high-level tournaments here in Liepāja. And I think that it's a right thing to do. And we really want to see development. And the tournaments are organized of the highest quality. And so we would get only positive response and feedback, and so that many people would want to come and participate in these tournaments. And it's very important to assess all the work that has been performed. And this system has been in place for 4 years. And coaches, according to different criteria, according to the work quality and how many children are maintained on the teams and the growth dynamics, they are assessed. And they get bonuses, money bonuses. And I think that these bonuses should only be increased, because this quality assessment is very important in order to develop the mastership. And we have always been thinking about that, for example, many coaches who work with young players, it's not the result-based bonuses. What they need to do is to keep the child's interest and to teach them the technique. The sporting schools in Liepāja. Some times ago we had sport games, and still schools are competing amongst themselves. The ball games or the team games, and those are the of highest interest in this sector as well. And that can involve many pupil, and those are emotions that are really liked by the pupil in schools. And in order to get ready for these things, we do extracurriculum things, and we've been discussing sports school student involvement in these games. And then if we don't involve them, then maybe these competitions do not seem so attractive and the results are lower. But on the other hand, these sports school students, they kind of prohibit, they kind of take away the opportunity from the other pupils to participate in these. And so what we're doing, we're kind of limiting the number of sports school students' involvement in the school games. And that's that the preference is given to the students, to the pupils who are not participating or involved, or being involved in the sports schools, and they still want to participate in these competitions. They are given the preference against the ones who are kind of professionally involved in these sport types. And hopefully it will pass. We will get this decision passed, adopted. There are many things how we can promote many team games. We also collaborate with the Olympic Committee, and we have these Olympic days. And during the recent years, we are trying to promote different types of sport. And last year, I think, if I'm not mistaken, was handball. This year, it's basketball. And municipality organizes these Olympic days, and we also promote them among the young Liepāja citizens. And last year, the project, the whole class is doing sports. It was done, it was more focusing on football, both for girls and boys. And according to the information provided by teachers, everyone liked it. It was not easy, but it was, and still everyone, the children liked it. And there were tasks given by the Football Federation, and I think that 2 classes from Liepāja will participate in this day. And in collaboration with Football Federation, we are also doing like football days in Liepāja. And it's also another opportunity to involve both girls and boys in football activities. I think that I think we need the students who is doing sports. We need a venue where to do the sports, but also what is very important is the coach, the trainer, because the children come and they believe in him or her. And also the parents believe that this is the right person to teach my child how to do the sports correctly, how to think on the field. And some parents see very far in the future that these are stars and players in the higher leagues. And also it's the matter of child's attitude and how the coach will be able to get the child involved. And I think at this point Liepāja can be proud of good teachers, good coaches, good trainers, because during the recent years, the title of the best teacher, of the best coach, has been received here in Liepāja, and that means that we can work well and we can get awards. And I think that educators with the right attitude, with the right dose of humor, that attracts children. And I think that we have to help the young people with the way of thinking, with the right attitude, with positive thinking. So many of you who have been doing sports, you remember your coaches as the second dad or second mom, and you've spent a lot of time with them, and they have had the faith in you. And when children come and start practicing, and they actually value the coach's faith a lot, I think that should be regarded very highly with every person who's teaching the children. We should really see how not to ruin this young athletes' self-image, and it's important not only say the right things but do the right things. And here I would also want to emphasize the position of moms and dads, because not only the coach is in charge of this, but also the child goes home and wants to share the positive emotions, and we as moms and dads and we should tell them that it's the right thing to drink water instead of soft drinks, and we should say that they should eat, porridges instead of sweets. But then again, like if we are doing the opposite thing, then we ruin the write the positive information that they have received, and they don't believe in that anymore. And I'm very happy that we have good educators, good trainers, good coaches that can teach their children this right way of thinking and these right values. And I'm really proud of that I work here in Liepāja and I can work with these coaches and trainers. Thank you. I have 2 questions. First of all, Māris Strombergs has got the Golden Reward, and then BMX got got really popular, and the same happened to the beach volleyball. And also, I can tell that football is experiencing this popularity. Also, we have the only NBA player from Latvia, Liepāja, is here from here. I think that tennis and basketball have been very popular here in Liepāja, where children would get involved, many of them, and the people who would like to get involved are many. But this year, if I'm not mistaken, there was a situation when it was hard even to take in all the people who wanted to participate. And it's almost like we have to do like some sort of selection to see which children are fitter for one or the other sports type. And this popularity is unfortunately limited by the physical space, and we cannot take in everyone. It would be a bad thing to do, to take in as many children as are willing, and yet not have enough space and infrastructure to ensure good place for practicing. So the swimming program, we involve swimming coaches as well, not only the teachers from schools. And swimming coaches through this program, they select the children, and I think that's the best way how to go about this. And during the 20 lessons, they see either whether they could be the next swimming champions, and then they can start talking to them and getting them involved. What to say to these 5,000 people, and then demand in sports and art and music. It's very the offer is huge, and I'm sure that children find the right thing for them to get involved in. And I think that in sports, I really hope that they really want to participate in the sport lessons in school, and they can participate in schools teams, and they can represent their schools like that by doing sports number of times per week. There are no more questions. Okay, thank you. Applause to Artis Lagzdiņš.